with the families of 3 Georgia service members killed in Jordan.
Let's turn to Atlanta News First anchor Savannah Louie. Savannah, you're at the First Alert Breaking News desk. What do you know about the calls?
Sean Blair, we're learning more about what exactly President Biden said to those families when it comes to offering condolences. Also, plans in the works right now for a dignified transfer at Dover Air Force Base. That's all scheduled for this Friday. And of course, to remember and honor the 3 Georgia soldiers killed over the weekend. I believe we have their pictures here. We're talking about Sergeant William Rivers, along with Specialist Kennedy Sanders and Specialist Breonna Moffett. All 3 again from Georgia. Now, as far as that call from President Biden, we know that he has said to that family, quote, how proud we are of their service, how we mourn and feel sorrow over their loss. We're also learning from a top White House official who has said that all families of those soldiers have welcomed Biden to that dignified transfer. And again, that dignified transfer expected to happen this Friday at Dover Air Force Base. Atlanta News First following this developing situation here. And as we learn more about the preparations and the ceremony to come, we'll be sure to bring you all the latest updates here.